Brother Jonathan, Sister Dallas, everyone at Revival today. This is Stephen from Feed the Hungry, and I want to say thank you for your missionary heart to reach the least of these with the gospel of Jesus Christ. We are in Montaña de la Flor this week. It is a mountain range in Central America, and it's home to the Tulupan, an indigenous people group. Let me share a little bit more about them. They're an ancient people that are tied to the Mayan Empire, and you can see it very clearly in their features and their faces and in the way they live. They are so far removed, hours and hours from the nearest town, the nearest medical clinic, the nearest supermarket, the nearest place to get anything. They live and exist up in these mountains as a forgotten people. Well, these mountains are their home. It's a place that's been hard to penetrate with the gospel, but because food has been introduced through missionary friends over the last 18 months or so, there's been great inroads in bringing the gospel to the children and to the parents and to the communities as a whole. Thank you for allowing food to be a little key that opens up great big doors to bring hope and a future to the least of these. And you know, when Jesus spoke to his disciples and said, "When I was hungry, you gave me something to eat, and when I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink," the disciples said, "Lord, and when did we see you like that? When did we see you hungry? When did we see you thirsty?" And Jesus looked at them and said to them, and he says to us today, when you've done it to the least of these, when you've done it to the forgotten, the overlooked, the ignored, that was me. You did that to me. So thank you for being the hands and feet of Jesus to bring food, hope, a future, the promise of eternal life through the salvation that comes through faith alone to a forgotten people. Thank you for reaching them. And thank you for reaching over 400,000 children so far this year with food and a future through Jesus Christ. God bless.
Hello everybody, I've got some exciting news. We are in the process of launching a faith-based credit union, and so we'd like to welcome you to fill out a survey that is going to be used in the application process. You can go to revivaltoday.com/credit union and fill that out. And thanks ahead of time for filling it out and being a part of this great journey in the world of finance.
This is Jonathan Shuttlesworth. The prayer that Jesus left us with was to pray for laborers to go out into the harvest field. If there's one thing this last school shooting showed us, if there was ever a time that America needed a new generation of workers in the harvest field, it's now. That's why we're raising up those ministers and workers at Revival Today Bible Institute. Our inaugural class is this September. If you've been moved recently in your spirit that I want to do something to affect my generation for eternity, this is the place to come and get trained. We start this September. You can apply today at revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com. I want you to join this army that God's raising up. The devil's not going to write the last chapter of your generation. You and many others are going to get raised up in the power of the Holy Spirit, go forth with the Word of God, and take one more run with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Will you join us? Apply today, revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com, and I'll see you this fall.
Well, welcome everybody to Check the Market, Check the News. Grateful you are all joining us. A little bit of a different setup today. Different time. Do we have the music going? I don't hear. There's the music. But nonetheless, I'm grateful you're joining us because Patrick is out this morning, but you have me. We're going to check a couple of the stocks. Stock market is literally opening in 30 seconds, so we will jump to that. But Before that, welcome D&D Investments, Matthew Sad, Jesus Girl, Cindy, nice to see you, Janice, welcome, Eva, Jason, Wayne. Happy you, yes, deport the Oompa Loompa. I will wear that proudly, Matthew. Mindy, welcome. Zach, Sandra, yes, we are here, don't you worry. Bethany, as always. Dawn, Shelley, John, for freedom. We got a full house, and the stock market is open. Welcome, Sherry. Awesome. Let us see we got some stocks rolling in. What do we got this morning, folks? What are we at? Do we have a graph for the people? We're just going to grab that for you all. I don't have my laptop with me. Ashley, welcome. Cool. NASDAQ is at 154. Oh. Is this before? This is 4 p.m. We need the stocks for when the stock market opened today. Almost there. Almost there. Thank you, Jesus Girl. I do rule the day. I do rule the day. We attack the day as soon as we get our feet out of the bed. Bianca Christoforus, welcome. Kelly Lake, Kenny, cool. They are just grabbing that. While we are waiting for them to grab everything for us, the stocks this morning, team, can we go on with the news of the day, and then we'll come back to the stocks, if that's okay. The January 6th committee wants you to believe that a 74-year-old President Donald Trump scaled the exterior of the Beast presidential limo while it was moving, busted into the front seat, and grabbed the steering wheel away from a Secret Service agent. So for any of you that, glad you're drinking your coffee, Christopher. So for any of you who have seen what the January 6th committee is trying to do, they're saying that President Trump, if you know anything about the Beast limo, it literally is a beast. And they're saying that he, from the back seat of the limo, with a separator in between, went forward on Jan 6 and tried to take a hold of the steering wheel and redirect the whole limo. It's so stupid. It's so stupid and hilarious. And this is like a totally Jussie Smollett moment, I feel like, anyway. But I thought it was hilarious. Yes. Welcome, Jacqueline. Happy you are here. And Leslie on the app. Good stuff. Yes, I can't even with these people either. They're stupid. Next. A Secret Service source told me earlier, FYI, I'm calling BS on the Secret Service story. You think none of us would have never heard of this, as an internal rumor? No bleeping way. From Peter Alexander, a source close to the Secret Service tells me both Bobby Engel, the lead agent, and the presidential limousine SUV driver are prepared to testify under oath that neither man was assaulted and that Mr. Trump never lunged for the steering wheel. So you have the Secret Service saying one thing, the representative who was at the Jan 6 committee, and then you have the Secret Service going to go and testify under oath against the Secret Service. This thing is bonkers and hilarious. Funny to watch them eat their own. Hilarious. Welcome, Isaac and Connor over on the app, and Cindy. Great to have you here. Next. Team, just let me know when we have those stocks available for everybody. Alex, yet again, wow, not only did Cassidy Hutchinson lie about the Trump/Secret Service agents, but she also lied about writing a note. Perjury, ? From Catherine Flounders, the handwritten note that Cassidy Hutchinson testified was in fact written by Eric Hirschman on January 6, 2021. Spokesperson for Eric Hirschman told ABC News Tuesday evening. Do we have this thread by chance? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. But Cassidy said that this whole thing is just a complete joke. Cassidy was a representative, and she was the one testifying at the Jan 6 committee, so it's just wonderful. Just wonderful to see. Next. Yes, Raina. Welcome, and I agree. I know lying is a sin. Absolutely. Dawn says, like Judge Judy says, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Then what is Joe Biden's life? Question. Just drink a margarita, says Ian Miles Chong from Representative Andy Levin. This is literally what a U.S. elected representative posted. Hilarious. He says, in a moment of wildly conflicting emotions, of intense anger over horrifying Supreme Court decisions, with more to come. Yes, more to come. Mixed with gratitude that I was just able to help pass the first meaningful gun reform in 3 decades, I turn inward, at least for a moment. Hashtag a solace with Andy. You know what's like beta male that is? How pathetic that is? So embarrassing. You just embarrassed yourself, man. And we are all here to laugh at you. Next. Yes, Sherry, out of control in DC and the world gets some comedic relief. Cindy. Yes, exactly. You can't make this stuff up, especially with regards to Michael Stanger. Exactly. From Chuck Costello, breaking report, Senator Elizabeth Warren suggests putting Planned Parenthood tents on federal land to conduct abortions in banned states. So Pocahontas herself wants to do anything and everything to help kill children. Anything and everything. This woman, whatever she is, Indian, whatever she identifies as today, just insufferable. Yes, she's off her rocker. Exactly, Dawn. Next. Corey DeAngelis, it's happening from the National Review. Arizona passes universal school choice for 1.1 million students. It's literally happening. This is one of the best things to combat the Marxist agenda in schools, is to ensure that parents, not government surrendering, actually not surrendering, that's not even the right way to put it. Government handing back the power to parents to determine where their children should go to school. If they should be homeschooled, then school choice, depending on the state you're in, but school choice laws in America generally mean that the tax dollars that you are paying for your child to go to whatever horrible school, public government school is what we should be calling them, just to stigmatize them further, that money will end up going to parents if they want to homeschool their kids. Or if the parents want to put their children in a private school or a school in a different school district because those kids are performing better than the school in their school district, that's what these parents are now able to do for 1.1 million students just in Arizona alone. Happy. Very happy. John, what is my take on the Maxwell verdict? More shenanigans to come. Yes, absolutely. So for anybody who doesn't know, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to only 20 years in jail. Like, what the flip? 20 years for the human rights atrocities that she committed and she was a part of, destroying people's lives. And the list of their clients, Jeffrey Epstein, she worked alongside Jeffrey Epstein. The client list still hasn't been released. And the coverage, the lack of so much coverage was put on the stupid Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, but the Maxwell Epstein trial was like zilch. Like, what the heck? It's horrible. Yes, Charity, it is a slap to all of the victims. 20 years is not enough, but I am sure there will be shenanigans. Whether it'll play out the same as Jeff or it will play out in some other way, I don't know. But it never ends. It never ends here. It never ends with a sentencing. Yes, we want the Epstein list. We want the Epstein list. But that's my thoughts on it. Not enough time. Glad you agreed, Char. Next. From Isla Ravant in Canada, Trudeau is experimenting with embedding a chip in your passport to track you. This is the first I had heard of it. One of our viewers actually tagged me in this, and I was like, this is kind of weird. kind of funky, but it's not out of the scope of the stupidity of Trudeau. Holly Doan says feds experimented with pilot program called Chain of Trust that uses computer chip embedded passports to download an app that tracks travelers. It's not surprising to me. It's not surprising to me, but something to keep your eye on if you're a Canadian, because going forward, this could, if they're generally from my work or my past working in government and understanding the game of politics, when there is a pilot program set up, just like all the pilot programs and all the funding that was pushed during COVID towards digital IDs and everything else that comes along with that, they're not just pilot programs. Governments don't just do that on a mass scale or in every province or across the nation. They are setting up a foundation for something much bigger in the future. So it's not a coincidence that this is happening, but something to keep your eyes on. Next. Exactly. Come on, Canada. Come on. Dawn, Canadians can leave the country, or at least travel within the country, rather. The issue is now when you come back into Canada and you're not vaxxed, then you have to quarantine. You have to, nobody can come in to Canada if you're not vaccinated. That's also an issue. But you have to quarantine when you go back into Canada as a Canadian who's not vaccinated. You also have to do, I think it's like 3 tests and report in. Not that you necessarily have to do them. I have heard of some people very close to me who, when you go back in, for any tip for anybody, any Canadian watching, and you maybe leave the country and you're not vaccinated, leave Canada and you go back in, all you have to do for those stupid tests that the government mandates you to do, like they can actually mandate you to put something into your body in the form of a test. All you have to do is take it out of the little package, wave it around in the air, put it back in, never touch your skin. And DM me if you have any other questions. I'll walk you through the process, because you do not have to do anything against your own will. Nothing. So just DM me. I'll help you. I'll walk you through. All right, watch. HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra tells NBC News he's considering providing taxpayer-funded transportation for out-of-state abortions. NBC News says, can you do that legally? Secretary Becerra laughs and says, talk to me later. I would tell you if you're recording, so I won't tell you. Roll it.
What are you doing concretely in response to the court's decision to try to help women?
Well, we're working with centers like Planned Parenthood, so we are restoring funding for Title X, family planning services. We are working with supporters on the ground to make sure that we are providing services to women where we can. We are looking into everything, including assisting in transportation, something that HHS doesn't typically do.
Can you do that legally?
Look at this face,
Talk
little
to me later.
stupid smart.
I mean, that's a big question, right?
I always tell my team at HHS, if you've done your homework, then we have no right to do mild. And so we're going to be aggressive and go all the way. And I would tell you if you're recording, so I won't tell you. So
this is all on the record, Mr. Secretary.
We are looking at every option, and among those is transportation.
Say that again?
We are looking at every option, and among those is transportation.
Transporting women to other states.
That's sick. That's so sick. Interesting, though, that they're willing to do that, at least even look into it. But they're willing to help fund and promote the death option, the murder option, but not the option to help women and families to support these people through pregnancy, these women through pregnancy, these families through pregnancy. They're not willing to help. They go after pregnancy resource centers instead of helping them provide more choices. Pregnancy resource centers provide the choice of adoption, choice of birth, instead of death. Explains a lot about this administration. Sorry, that doesn't work. French police swiftly remove green activists who had glued themselves to the pavement in Paris. Don't glue yourself to the pavement anywhere, but roll this and let's take a laugh. Just rip their hands off. Watch this.
Ah, maman! Ah! 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 C'est super mal! Ah, t'es ouf! Ah!
Yeah.
Le cinéma, monsieur. On arrête le cinéma.
You're an idiot. Next. Breaking, EU countries have agreed to extend the COVID passport system for another year. Here we go again. We will see if this is a round 2. Something to watch. Next. Trump can't hold a glass of water. Trump can't walk down an incline. Trump can take out the Secret Service like Jason Bourne. Good point. Yes, Sandra, they are idiots. Next. Dang, Christophorus. Christophorus says July 1st, my state will have permitless / constitutional carry. You're in Indiana, right, Christophorus? That is so awesome. Very happy about that. Secretary of Defense's COVID vaccine mandate is causing major damage to the readiness of our armed forces, particularly our Army. At this moment, 13% of the National Guard, 10% of the Reserve, and at least 24,250 active soldiers face expulsion for not receiving the mandatory COVID vaccine. Still to this point. It's insane. Continue. Right on, Chris. Breaking, Nancy Pelosi met with Pope Francis this morning and received communion at a papal mass. But if you think it's okay to kill babies made in God's image, you're not in communion with God. It speaks a lot to this horrid Pope. We ain't no Catholics here, but I understand the Catholic faith. And I have so many Catholic people in my sphere of influence who are livid at Pope Francis before this. They're like ready for this guy to go down fast, real fast. Welcome, Scott. Happy you're here. Next. Oh, there we go. Violent left update from Jason Rance. A 31-year-old pro-abortion extremist was so mad about Roe v. Wade, he vandalized St. Louis Catholic Church in Bellevue, Washington. Upon arrest, Bellevue police allege the suspect busted up a police cruiser. Bellevue PD tells local Fox News that this falls under a hate crime. In Washington state, there will be justice. Go for it. Watch him throw his little fit. Oh, and he even has a pink backpack. Isn't that cute? You're so cute, man. Your long hair. Least you could do is use some conditioner. Yeah, spray a little paint. That's intimidating. Welcome, Ninja. All right, I'm done. Next. The Beast driver is separated from the passengers for security. Let's blow up this picture just to help you guys understand. Yes, total beta male right there. When everybody on the Jan 6 committee is like, oh my gosh, Trump went up and grabbed the wheel of the Beast limo. This is what Trump would have to get through. This whole barrier. There's no way. There's no way. So dumb. Just so dumb, you guys. Jan 6 committee, you just screwed yourself. If you hadn't before, you've really done it now. Great to see. Next. Kamala Harris. Oh, stocks are ready. Okay, let us see some stocks. What do we got for today? We'll come back to this one. All right, can we blow, is there any way to blow that up? All right, where are we at? Almost there. Okay, S&P 500. Nice, thank you, team. This is totally off the cuff, you guys, so media team doing a solid for us here. Got Shiba Inu there. Yeesh, we're down a little bit. S&P 500. Doge sitting comfy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, NASDAQ. Everything, yeah. Great job, media team. Ninja appreciates you guys. So do I. It's all in the red, you guys. Except natural gas. Except natural gas. Not bad. It could be worse. It could be worse. Watch by the end of the the day when stock market closes, and then we'll see where things are at. We'll see. Next. Thanks, media team. Kamala Harris, if you are a parent of sons, do you think about what this means for the life of your son? I have not watched this. She's talking about the Supreme Court took a constitutional right away from women. That is fake news, CNN. But go for it.
Everyone has something at risk on this. First of all, if you are a parent of sons, do think about what this means for the life of your son and what that will mean in terms of the choices he will have.
Yeah, whether to be promiscuous or not, whether to follow through with obligations. If he helps create a child, he will have to follow through with being a father. That's what it means for you sons. Breaking, President Biden announces that a permanent headquarters for the U.S. 5th Army Corps will be built in Poland. The U.S. will deploy a rotational brigade to Romania, 3,000 soldiers. The U.S. will also enhance rotational deployments in the Baltic states. It's a start, says Vanguard 24. This is because Ukraine is not a member of NATO. So anything to escalate the situation between Russia and Ukraine, this is what the U.S. is doing. So this is the next step. And actually, last week, Biden sent a couple hundred more million off to Ukraine. So anything to ramp up the situation over there, that's what Biden's administration is trying to do. And this is the next step for them because they can't get Ukraine into NATO. This is crazy. Yes, Matthew says amazing. She has multiple full-time media people working with her every day, and she's still that fake and cringe. Great point. Great point. Yeah, because politicians do have people who are trying to train them anyway. Market screen now, Mission School says. Can we pull back up the markets? Is the market green now? I doubt it's changed in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, exactly, Kenny. Okay, people. Kenny says, okay, people. Just do it the right way like God put in place. Get married, don't sleep around, and that's it. Literally, that's it. That's it. Isaac on the app, yes, that too. Do we have the stocks again? Or you can just tell me if they're green. You don't even have to pull it up. Yeah, Matthew says that it's big red. I'm not surprised. I don't think it's changed in 2 minutes. Oh, I see Mission. Okay. All right, next. Poland has announced that it will, together with Chechnya, veto the EU's plans to ban the sales of new cars running on fossil fuels from 2035. Polish Environment Minister Anna Moskwa says that the timeline is too ambitious as there is not enough infrastructure for electric cars. Fascinating. Poland. Poland and Hungary, every time I've gone to the UN, in person or online for commissions, they've always attacked nations around the world, have always attacked Poland and Hungary. And this is yet another reason why, not only standing up for life in the family, but also going against the freaks of the the radical freaks, rather, of the climate agenda. So, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow are all green for now, says Luis. Really? Really? All right. Dow. David also says Dow just took a sharp turn up for now. Interesting. So things are shifting. All right. I believe you guys. I'm happy if they're in the green. Yes, Mindy. It's because that Poland wants to remain sovereign. Very true. Okay, media team, show me what you're talking about. I'm very interested in what you just put up there. Continue. Yeah, should have bought those dips an hour ago. This is what happens when Biden doesn't have the note card that says you take your seat. Go for it. Sit, man. Sit. What did I do with this wooden object in front of me? AOC open up abortion clinics on federal lands in red states right now. Roll it.
I'll start with the babyest of the babyest of the baby steps. Open abortion clinics on federal lands in red states right now.
She's so annoying. A reporter asked Biden, do you have any reaction to the deaths of 50 migrants in Texas? He just walks away, describes this administration perfectly. These 50 migrants were victims of human trafficking. So let's see what his reaction was.
But thank you for your hospitality. It's unmatched.
Off to take his nap. Next. They're still brainwashing your kids who are at statistical zero risk. We're back to the darkest days of 40s paranoia and propaganda based on zero science or data from CNN. Elmo is now vaccinated for COVID-19. Well, let's hope he's sterile. Next. Poll from LifeSite News. Americans say major companies should not take a position on abortion. About half of Americans say major companies should not take a public position on abortion. And there you go. Interesting, Republicans. Independents. Interesting. Look at that category of women. Women are right just a couple points under men. That is interesting. Very interesting. Next. Oh, this is what the media team is talking about. Okay. Pursuit's response to Bank of America. Hours after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, Bank of America announced that they will pay for their employees to travel out of state for abortions. Today, the Pursuit closed all of our Bank of America accounts and relocated to a local credit union. Yes! Is there more? This makes me happy, you guys. Way to go. Dang. Honestly, if everybody just moved all of their money into local credit unions, things would change so fast. So fast. ESG agenda would be smashed, like it's getting smashed right now, both on an international level and on the state level in the US. Yes, Mindy, we the people. That's how you take back the power, essentially, as you bring it back to the local community, bring it back into your family, into your community. Awesome. Glad that they actually published this. They didn't just keep it to themselves. And that's so important, not just for companies, corporations, or ministries, but for individuals to do too. 2 thumbs up for me. This makes me happy. Yes, Ninja says, waiting for you, RT Credit Union. It's going to be a great day when it comes. Interesting. Ruth, I couldn't agree with you more. What a great time to be alive in Jesus. Thank you, David. I'm glad you enjoyed our little bit different pattern of a show today. Happy you enjoyed it. All right, that's a great note to end on. I am very happy with that news. Way to go to the Pursuit. Very happy about that. If you would like to partner with Revival Today, invest in RT, which I know you want to, to help feed 1,500 kiddos every single day. Here are the ways that you can give. Go to revivaltoday.com/give, my preferred method. It's the best of the best. But you can also donate on Facebook by going #donate. And the example we use is #donate1000. Text RT to 50155. Cash App, $RTGive, Venmo at RTGive, revivaltoday.com/PayPal. You can also give via all them cryptocurrencies. Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all the things. Scan that QR code or call our office. You're welcome, Marissa and Leslie. You can also send a check via snail mail. Also a great way. To Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. And when you invest in Revival Today, go to revivaltoday.com/offer. And what is going to be our offer today, team? How to Make Money in Stocks, a Winning System in Good Times Are Bad by William J. O'Neill. Good pick. Good pick. So this will be what you receive when you invest in Revival Today. Make sure, thank you, Matthew Sad. Glad I miss you guys on the evenings as well on Check the News at night. But we will be here this week. And Evangelist Jonathan is back in the house. So happy that he is home. Make sure you follow. We are more active now on Instagram, so go follow Let's Check the Market on Instagram. Going to be starting up a Twitter soon as well, where we will put out any kind of tips of the day for you. Glad you could join us. Go out there and make some money.